Welcome back to News Geelong. Another first for Geelong as the Geelong and Bellarine Life After Prostate Cancer support groups held a top information session in Belmont this week with Australia's leading prostate cancer support group couple, David and Pam Sando, travelling down from Sydney to present to a packed audience. News Geelong was there to speak with the key people involved.
Well, we're not only pleased to have it in the city of Geelong, Graham. The good news is we thought we'd have about 50 along and we've got 120 bookings, so it shows there's a definite need. And I'm delighted to say that we've got the National Chairman for Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia going to address the audience tonight with his wife, and she'll discuss the carers side. So it's a great welcome to have him. It's the first time I understand he's spoken in Victoria, and Geelong leads the way.
And we have a strong support base down here in Geelong and the Bellarine.
Look, it is growing enormously, and I was an example where I thought it was men sitting around working out when they're going to die, and it's nothing like that. It's support and letting you know and talk to fellow blokes that have been down the road rather than just a medical opinion. So, yeah, I can make a phone call to different people. I'm on hormone treatment at the moment, and there's probably 7 in our group do that. We can all discuss how we're travelling.
Are we getting control and on top of prostate cancer from a medical viewpoint as far as research is concerned?
Look, at long last, the federal government has actually put some money in here, and David, the National Chairman here tonight, will discuss some of that. But the good news is that we've now got 120 support groups in Australia. We have the 2 in Geelong. We regularly get 30 along to our meetings. It's a floating population. There's really no charge to join. We meet at St John of God Hospital at the Clancy Room on the last Friday of every month at 10 o'clock, and anybody is very welcome to come along. Don't sit and worry about things. Come and talk to fellow blokes who'll be able to help you out.
PCFA is the abbreviated form of the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia, and I'm very proud to be the National Chairman. I'm a survivor of 16 years, and between us, Pam and I have done a lot of work in the support group area. We run a support group at the Sydney Adventist Hospital, but I'm very pleased now to take up the role of Chairman. I was Deputy Chairman for 6 years, and I've been on the board a fair time. And I've held quite a number of positions in PCFA, but it's all very enjoyable, and this is the best part of it, getting out into the community and getting the message across.
What has been your role?
Well, I was originally very involved with telephone counselling. Our urologist had this special service he gave to the men that were diagnosed with prostate cancer, and he'd ask the previously diagnosed men and women to and their partners to help with telephone counselling and getting men through their operation. So that's how I initially started, and then I became very involved with being a volunteer at PCFA as well.
And Pam, the effect it's had from a partner's viewpoint on your life and the advice you would pass on to other partners?
Yes, it's been life-changing. We've had to make a lot of adjustments because David's had issues with erectile dysfunction, so we've been through 16 years of correcting that, and now he has the Rolls Royce for the penile implant. But no, it's educating the women. I think the women just play such an important role in family health, and if they understand what's happening, often the men will get into a bit of tunnel vision and won't fully take on what's being said to them. So if the wife can go home and say, do you remember the surgeon or the radiation oncologist saying this to you, you can overcome a lot of issues. And it's all about quality of life. They need to know what's out there for them as they go through their cancer journey and getting the right treatment option.
Roger and I are heading it up, but we've got a great team with our prostate support group, and it's worked really well. Everyone's dug in and put the chairs out and got everything ready. Our wives and partners have got some great supper afterwards for us, so it's working well.
Bruce, you've been a man of the community for many years, involved with the Ford Motor Company and the Apprentice Training Centre in particular, then at the Gordon. So you've had a very strong involvement in the Geelong community. How did you get involved in the Prostate Cancer Foundation?
Because of prostate cancer myself. And then a teacher of mine, Rolly Armstrong, he tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey Bruce, let's start a prostate support group in Geelong. So that's how it all started.
And how effective have you seen that work over time?
Yeah, it's often overwhelming. You often come home from a support group meeting and you're just so full up with glee and seeing the things that have happened at our group.
Thank you, and a particular thanks to Roger Northam. And now it's time for our lineup of football tipping experts with their weekly prognostications, beginning with Mitch Cleary.
Thanks, Rollo. Here are my tips for GFL Round 14. Newtown and Chewell host Bell Park in a clear match of the round tomorrow in the GFL. I'm going to tip Newtown and Chewell in a close one after seeing them do the job on St Joseph's last week. In other games, Colac to be too good for Grovedale, St Mary's to have North Shores measure, South Bowen against Leopold, and on Sunday, John West St Peters to be too good for St Albans and St Joey's to be too strong for Lara, with Daniel Lovick returning for the Joeys after his representative duties for Vic Country in their successful Australian Country Championships win. Moving across to Nathan Curry's BFL tips for round 15, he's going to take his Drysdale Hawks to smash Newcombe, Queenscliff to be too good for Torquay, Ocean Grove to bounce back against Port Arlington, Barwon Heads over Geelong Amateur, and Mottawarri to beat Anglesea. Over to you, Grubby.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch, and g'day viewers. Welcome to Grubby's Tips. For round 15 in the WRFL, we'll go for Port Colts to beat Albion, Sunshine to beat Deer Park in a close one, Hoppers also in a close one to defeat St Albans, Altona to be too good for North Footscray, and Spotswood to absolutely pulverise Sunshine Heights. Also round 15 in the GDFL, we'll go for Inverleigh to beat Belmont, Belpost Hill to be too good for East Geelong, Werribee to beat Corio, North Geelong to beat the West, Anarchy to beat Bannockburn just in the match of the day, and Thompson to have a big win against Winchelsea. Thanks very much. We'll see you all next week, and it's over to you, Troy.
G'day guys, it's Troy Selwood here, captain of the VFL Bendigo Bank Cats, and here are my tips for both AFL and VFL round 18. In the AFL, I'm tipping Hawthorn to defeat Essendon Friday night, Geelong to beat Adelaide, North Melbourne to beat Melbourne, Collingwood to defeat GWS, Richmond to defeat Carlton, Sydney to defeat Gold Coast Suns, Freo to beat Port Adelaide, St Kilda to beat the Western Bulldogs, and West Coast to beat the Brisbane Lions. In the VFL, I'm tipping Casey to defeat Frankston, Box Hill to beat Werribee, Port Melbourne to beat Williamstown, the Northern Blues to defeat Coburg, and the Bendigo Bank Cats are playing Bendigo Gold in the curtain raiser this week, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. start. So hopefully we have a great win and start a great day for the Geelong Football Club. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Troy. And now for the Colac and District Football League. It's another defining round this week in round 16. Forest to defeat LV. Simpson will be too good for Apollo Bay in a very tight game. Birregurra at home over Lorne. Colac Imperials to take the points over Otway Districts, and Illawarra Biak will win comfortably over the Western Eagles. South Colac have the bye. Enjoy your weekend of local footy, which is real footy. As we go to a break on News Geelong, we'll return with more sport and weather after this.